What's going on, everybody? It is Famine from Famine Studios. How are we on this sinful Saturday? It's Friday night. I am here. It's good to be back. It's been a while. I've had so much going on. I had funerals pop up, memorial service, really less than a funeral, but just some things go on. So I decided to bump the shows to Friday just to make life a little bit easier, and also, with the Acolyte playing on Tuesdays, people tend to tune into the shows even if they don't like them. So I figured I would free up that Tuesday for those that want to watch the show and keep this on Friday nights. So welcome. Thank you, as always, to my patrons who stuck with me through the few weeks there where I wasn't making shows. You guys are the real MVPs. Let's say hello to our friends in the chat. We got people filing in. We got Bjorn, the first patron. And look at that. Anthony's here. What's going on, fellas? Return of the King. Thank you. And then we got Task Force Figures and Games. What's going on? Red, how's it going? And the Dumpster Baby Talk's already started. I'm not going to be doing the overhead camera today just on account of I don't want to. I'll tell them about the basement incident at some point. I just made myself a cup of tea and left it in the other room. Starting to lose my voice. I don't know if it's allergies or a head cold or whatever, but I'm just going to grab my cup of tea. So I'm going to go ahead and play that little commercial for you guys again, for the people coming in. Maybe didn't see it, but yeah. I'm glad you guys are here. Enjoy the show. And I'm back. I made it in 28 seconds. My lovely cup from Gregory's Coffee. Not drinking out of Famine Studios mug, but I should be. But if you're ever in the New York City, New Jersey area, go to Gregory's. Best independent coffee house I've ever been to. I was at the very first one a couple of weeks after they started. Phenomenal coffee. Great owner. They're allies. Amazing store. But this is just hot tea for the throat. What I was going to do today is, as you see in the thumbnail, I like that. I played the video and somebody bailed. As you saw in the thumbnail, I have a makeup airbrush kit. I got it primarily for the compressor. I was going to put it through its paces. So that's what we're going to do. Thing is I slapped together the airbrush, which came out of the package without the paint hopper on there. Paint hopper comes on and off. I think that's great that they include a metal paint hopper, especially a black metal paint hopper, because sometimes when you're painting with silver, you can't tell if you got the flakes out. The problem is whatever machine they used to tighten this nozzle on here, I need to get this off to check the gaskets, because when you hook it up to the compressor, it leaks air out of the front. It should not. I just went and got my good airbrush, my personal one, my Pash. This was a gift from my best friend and his wife. Works perfectly fine. That's what it's supposed to do. That nozzle is supposed to have a gasket. The needle feeds through, stops the flow. There's no air coming out, nothing. When I pull back on the trigger, air comes out just like I want it to. There's 3 settings on this, which is dope. And it's 3 different PSI. So, I mean, you can use your imagination on how that works. This is the second highest setting. And then you can push it one more time for the 3rd highest PSI. It's got a great power to it. The issue being is that thing doesn't stop airflow. Now the set comes with, like I said, comes with the airbrush. I wish I could attest to the quality of it, because I was just doing a quick test before I started. Wanted to make sure it was correct, but I can't attest to that because I can't unscrew that in order to replace it. They included a replacement in there too, because I was like, all right, maybe it just needs a different tip. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's just the tip. Nothing doing. Cannot get it off. I even tried pliers. But it comes with the compressor, which is USB-C chargeable. Comes with a hose, or you can run it just like this. You can take the coupler, Drop it on there. Where's the little bastard? Oh, I took it off with that. Or did I? That's what it is. Am I slow? Am I new? I might be. Anyway, thing being, like I said, this bad boy does not want to doesn't want to let go, which is unfortunate because I would like it to let go so that I could utilize it. I'm sure that would make my life a little bit better, a little bit easier. No, I like it. Might have been counter threaded, and I am wearing a Dolly Parton shirt. Yes, this comes off real easy, which makes life easier for cleaning. Again, you know, shit comes apart, goes back together. That's how it should be. But as I described, I cannot get that off of there. I tried pliers. I stuck it in my mouth, which don't do, break a fucking tooth. It does, however, come apart the correct way for cleaning. There's a nice needle inside, nice straight needle. I was worried about that. Sometimes in the factory, they jam them in there. You get a bent needle. No, not good. Comes right apart. Your adjustment knobs in the back work. Your body knob works. This has an internal thing that unscrews. I just the tip, just to see how it felt. I stuck the tip in my mouth, just to see how it feels. But, you know, you can pull your needle back. You can move it forward to adjust your paint flow. Common airbrush practices. Again, I prefer single action, which is cool because this is a single action airbrush. I don't do the type of airbrushing where I need to regulate my flow up into my spraying. Trying to explain how I would describe that. It would be like if I started with a tiny line and I wanted to fade it, and then I wanted to get bigger and heavier paint, and I'm pulling back to allow more airflow, but also putting more pressure on to regulate. I don't need that. I need to set my airbrush from the length of my line, and then I just need to control the flow of the air, the thickness of my line. I do that with weathering. I do that when I paint with this back when I used to do little t-shirts and stuff like that. I don't need double action. I prefer single action, and I learned that at ILM, barely anyone in the paint department uses double action. It's all single action. Up to you. It's up to what you like. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Triple D, how is it going? Glad you can make it. So as far as the airbrush that came with it, right now I can't give a yay or nay, right? I can't say if it's good or not. What I can tell you is what it comes with. It does come with a tall hopper plastic, but it's got marks. It's got fluid marks so that you can, volume marks that you can tell how much paint you've put in there and how much you're going through, which probably is good for flow if you're trying to regulate your paint flow and keep track of how much product you're using. Or I would use these if I was doing like a base coat of something. If I knew I had to paint it all black, I would go ahead and pop one of these suckers on there. They've just got a big one and a small one. Like I said, it comes with a tip for you to use when you change it out. If you could get the tip off, comes with a little pipette dropper. You can buy a box of these on Amazon, like 1,000 of them for like $15. You'll never use them all. If you want to waste them, I usually get 2 or 3 uses out of mine before I throw them away, but it does come with one. It's even got milliliter measurements on there if you're diluting your paint. When I airbrush, I prefer to have the consistency of skim milk. That's what I like my paint to be at, the consistency of skim milk. You can dilute it with water, with glycerin, and a little bit of alcohol. That's for acrylics. I use Windex. Windex has a little bit of glycerin and water, but That's not that's for paints that aren't pre-mixed. Comes with a cleaning kit, which every paint gun you're ever going to buy in your life comes with these. You're going to trip over them if you have multiples like I do. They are handy. But if you'll excuse me one moment, I do believe one of the dogs just went to the bathroom. Yeah. I'm gonna pause this. I apologize, guys. First day back, of course. But yeah. All right. And we're back. Let's turn that music down just a smidgen. Yeah, dog had an accident. They're dogs. What can you do? Cleaned up, got them outside, let them go pee out there, let the other ones empty their bladders, and do whatever. So I'm not going to airbrush today. Thought I was, as far as this product goes. If you're buying it for the compressor seems great and handy to have. I would not purchase it for the airbrush. Get yourself a good airbrush. You can buy a Pash. You could buy a Iwata. But I wouldn't count on this airbrush. It's great, but mine isn't even a gravity fed. It's siphon fed. So it's got hooks on the bottom, spray through. And I have a couple of different ones. This is one that I use for my base coats. Again, single action. Just you control, set your nozzle to give you your dot size or your pattern size, and then just pull it back to control the airflow. It is what it is. So I showed off during the our show on World Makers Consortium, if you made it over, some items that I had picked up over the past couple of weeks. We can talk about those again if you guys want to. We could talk about the stuff you're working on. Yeah, super disappointed in the airbrush being crap. I thought it would be great for going off the reviews. Maybe I got a crappy one. I'm going to contact customer support, see if they want to replace the airbrush. If they want to send me a new kit, I can send this one back. It's great. If they do, they do. If they don't, we understand. But again, I would say that the compressor is absolutely worth it. It comes with a charge cable, comes with a little compressor. We couldn't even test it to see how long, to see how long it runs. But my initial thoughts are, would love for this to work better, which is a brave initial thought to have, but what can you do? And yeah, you can go right to the compressor here, thread that all the way up. It's got a little gasket on the bottom to make sure it's snug. It's very quiet. That's it. Let me turn the music off. Hang on. I don't know if you guys could, my air conditioner is louder than this, and that's with it leaking air. So I open it up. I don't even know where the microphone is on this. I don't know if you could hear that. It's got 3 settings. Second one's a little bit louder. That's the third one. But the problem is she's just leaking like a sieve. So, but yeah, I mean, I could totally see using this outdoors or using this for outdoor work. If you guys have to airbrush outside, if you don't have proper ventilation, if you don't want to build a spray booth, if you want sunlight to help you see, I think that this would be really good for that. This is supposed to be for applying makeup, so I know that they wouldn't want this thing just spraying pigment all over the place. So again, disappointed in that. I thought about getting some channel locks, but I mean, goddamn, if I've got to get channel lock pliers to take apart an airbrush out of the factory, that's a no for me, dog. That sucker's on there. And I'm not saying I'm the strongest dude, but I mean, I got some guns. I got some gription behind this little arm here. A couple of lonely nights back in college, if you know what I mean. But the fucking thing will not turn. So I imagine it's cross-threaded or it's so snug against there that it's just not releasing. Tried pliers. I could be a weak little man. That's also a possibility. Famine could be a weak little guy. But I wanted to show you guys that. I wanted you guys to have a good peek at the process of airbrushing. That don't work for me, brother. Yeah, the old Hulk Hogan. The old Hulk Hogan adage. That's not going to work for me, brother. But it does come with this nice accordion. Have I tried heating it up? No, because I don't want to damage the rubber gaskets that are in there. They're either rubber or silicone. I'm leaning towards the country of manufacturer, I believe, is China or Taiwan. They do not have the best consistent business practices. I don't want to heat it up and melt the gasket to the threads or against the needle, because then that's a whole different ball game. So I'm not going to be heating it up. Again, it should just be finger snug. There's no reason to cinch it down like that. You should not tighten it till it breaks. Like there's no reason. If it was put on by a machine in the factory, recalibrate that thing, because that's not doing you any favors. But again, I will reach out to the manufacturers. I'm going to contact them, either get a refund, replacement, and we will revisit that at a later date. Bummed, but compressor, pretty solid. I have tried turning it on and off again, Bjorn. Thank you. I was worried that I wouldn't remember to try that, and I'm glad that you were here, because I did remember, but I needed somebody to remind me. But yeah, that's the wrong one that I unplugged. Sure is. It's that kind of night, guys. There we go. Let's go purple. As it says, came with a little USB cord, came with an instruction book. I checked the instructions to make sure I was not missing something obvious. It has been a hot minute since I've airbrushed, so I was like, okay, Famine, let's be smart about this. Let's go through, and maybe you're missing something. Maybe you're supposed to loosen something. No, I knew what I was doing. It just turns out that the product itself is kind of shititsky. But I do see, Bjorn, you're working on stuff for Dom's game at Joe Fest. Let's see here. And that's Action. I'll remember it one day. Dom, if you're watching this, I apologize. Old Famine drinks. I don't know. But patrons, I have a drive that I'm going to drop to you guys and give you the password for. You guys can go into that folder and download the sheets of banners and stickers that you can print out. My patrons that want physical ones, shoot me your mailing address. I did find a printer. And Actionverse, thank you. I almost said Valorverse, and I was like, nope, that's wrong. Those people are weird. And then I knew it was Action. Doesn't matter. But yes, so patrons, I will be sending out the Google Drive. I'll post that and then give you all an email to get in there and get access to those. Again, if you want your physical, tangible ones, if you don't want to print it out yourself or go to your local library or whatever you want to print it on, you could resize them. You can cut the images. I don't care. I want you to be happy with them. And I'll provide those to you. But yes, Rhino Wisdom is the manual airbrush. Yeah. Oh, and here's the PSI chart. She goes from 25 to 29 to 36 PSI. So that's good. I paint around 20 anyway. 15 to 20, I don't need super. I'm not trying to, put a coating on a car or something like that. I'm not trying to paint a panel for a 747. Just needs a little bit of pressure. It's airbrushing. You're at home. What I don't like to airbrush, there's a couple of colors. Anything metallics, anything that's metallic flaked paint with that loose pigment in there, I do not like airbrushing with that, because the metallicized pigment, I guess that's what we're going to call it, the metal flakes go into the air, and I don't like that. Even with exhaust, you can still see the flakes sometimes, and that makes me feel funny, like probably shouldn't do that. So I tend not to airbrush with metallics if I can. I have before. Again, shit floats around in the air. It is what it is. check your targets, by the way. Check your targets. Some of the Dino Defenders or whatever they're called, Epic Evolutions. That's what they are. Epic Evolutions are on clearance at Target. This guy was $13. They had the Allosaurus. They had quite a few other ones, but I just dug this dude and his weird armorized armor plating that he's got on him. It's cracked. There's a lot of recesses. He's got weird action features. Make the head go forward. You can make it go back. You can make his his horns come out of the head, but then he's no longer a Triceratops. I get it. It's an epic evolution. Got it. And, Stino fact that's there. So weird little thing, but neat. There's a variant, a chase of this one, I think. I don't know if it's technically a chase, but there's a green one of these, a mint green that's available. I've seen both in stores. So. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a day. Let me get the tunes going again, and I'll share the basement story, and then we'll call it a night. We'll make it a short one on account of things not working and me starting to lose my voice. So the basement story. It's not a running change because there were different colors in cases. Like there was a 2 in a case, and there was a white one and a mint one. But then you'd get another case, and there'd be 2 whites. Another case, 1 mint, 1 white. You know what I mean? It was weird. The stairs story. I have a basement in my house. We are in the great upstate of New York. So we have basements. It's not like the Midwest where there's no, the ground's solid and it's tough to put in basements, especially way down south like Texas. So we have stairs going down. This house is old. Those stairs are probably 50, 60 years old, and just with constant drying out and moisture from storms, the wood started to dry out to the point where it was like kind of dry rotting, so it would crack easy. When my grandfather installed it, he used it's a router, but it's a dado jig that cut about a 1/2 inch on either side, pocketed the stairs in, tied the second wall to the house, sheathed in the staircase. That should have held, but because of the expansion and contraction, and also the house settling a little bit, basically the walls pulled out a little bit. The stairs were loose. Now, I've been careful on the stairs, no problem. I knew that they were loose. I know I was going to have to get underneath them and fix them. The thing being is the stair that quit on me, it's like the 3rd stair down. Took a couple of steps downstairs to do laundry, and I fell straight down to the ground. As I was going down, as I saw it breaking in front of me, I saw that the staircase had tipped. I saw nails sticking out. I actually saw one, and I was like, fuck. And I think I literally yelled out, oh no. Oh no. That could have been my last words. And I hit the wood to get it away from me, and I, busted up my knuckles with the nail. Was terrified that I had gotten stabbed, but I looked at my shirt. My shirt was fine, and I was like, okay, cool. Actually did find out later I had a big bruise here and a jab, where I got jabbed. Fortunately, my tetanus shot's up to date for this and that. So I'm down there. And the reason I was going downstairs not only to do laundry, but was also because we had a flea problem. Poor Peanut, the person that was caretaking him, let him get outside. He got fleas. They said they didn't notice he had fleas. Young man had fleas. We got kind of a flea problem here. I was handling it, so I was bringing a flea grenade downstairs. So as I'm laying there on the ground trying to get my bearings, and holy shit, I'm fortunate I didn't stab myself and all this stuff. I'm hearing I'd accidentally activated the flea bomb. I did have a mask on. I had one of my fabric COVID masks on just because I was literally going to set the one in the basement and then go through the house, do them all, exit. Essentially what happened was I gave myself a timer by that thing hissing. So I'm like, oh shit. So I leaned as far as I could and just kind of put it in the room where it was going, into the laundry room. And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta get upstairs. I can't, it was too high. I couldn't pull myself up. I don't have that much upper body strength. I mean, I was and I was wearing Crocs too, which if you're going to be doing any sort of athleticism, even if you put them in sport mode, Crocs ain't the way. That's not the move. So I'm like, shit, I can't get up. So I grab a piece of plywood that we had like tucked away, but it was like one of those again that had been up against the wall with its moisture and the dried moisture and dried. So it was all kind of flimsy and stuff. I tried putting it on. I couldn't get on it. I got onto it and it started to crack immediately. Couldn't get my feet up. I'm like, God damn. And I'm starting to, the fumes are hitting me and I'm like, oh my God, like this is dangerous. Like this is really bad. This is all of a sudden I'm getting short of breath. So I was like, my workshop, right? Some of you older fans of the channel may remember my old workshop videos where I was working in my studio, the original Famine Studios, and I have a shelf above where my television was at my little work table. And I say little work table, it was actually a full-length door that we attached to cabinets to make a desk. Anyway, I grab hold of the shelf that's there that I had put up. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just climb up this shelf. I'll use it like a little ramp until I reach that step and then just get up. And I'm starting to, can't breathe. It's fucking terrible. I'm starting to get a headache and like it's starting to affect my vision. So now I'm like, I'm putting my shirt over this. And that's, of course, I'm starting to get scared. Wasn't a panic feeling. It was actual fear, like real fear. So I'm trying to, like, I throw this thing up and it's just long enough to touch the stair that I need to get up. Cause it's the only, like I said, 3 stairs. So I throw it up there and I start climbing and dude, I'm sweating. I have that like fear sweat where you're like really afraid and you're like my armpits, my balls, back of my knees, feet, everything, just sweat pouring off of me. And I'm hearing, and it's playing with my mind. I can't catch my breath. And I slip on the shelf, bam, fall down, and you could see as I just like tried to claw my way up it, you could see it dried the sweat marks of my arms. It's disgusting. So I'm like, now I'm starting to like, I may pass out down here if I die from breathing this shit in. Like every bad thought was going through my head. I'm like, I put the cats out in the car in the air conditioner with the dogs because the whole plan was to close the house off and go. I'm like, they're never going to understand why dad didn't come back. Like, I'm like, all these things are running through my head. I'm like, my poor girlfriend. And she had called me when I fell. Like, it just happened to connect. And I was like, I fucking just fell. I'm in the hole in the stairs. Like, I showed her, I'm like, on FaceTime, I'm like, I'm in the fucking hole in the ground. And she's like, oh my God. All right, we're on our way. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I heard the hissing and all this transpired. Now I'm at the point of like, they're going to get here and find me dead. There's no way Jason was coming. I'm like, there's no way the two of them can get me up because it's too far. Even if they could grab hold of me, like there's no way to hoist. Like it's running through my head. And I was like, I got like one last opportunity here. I grabbed another piece of plywood and I was like, maybe I could double it up. And I dropped it and it fell in perfectly on the risers that were there. And I was like, oh, we might be onto something here. So I pushed it forward and it locked into place. And I'm like, huh. And I looked down and all the like the shitty stairs that broke that I had kicked out of the way were leaned up against the wall. So it created an extra piece for it to brace against. And with just literally every ounce of my fucking physical might that I had left, at this point I'm shaking. And I don't know if it was because the fumes from the flea bomb or whatever, but like I was like wrecked, man. I tried pulling myself up at once. It was not good. I grabbed onto the railing on this side. I threw my feet this way to put them on like as close to the stringer as I could so that I had that support. And I got about to the stair and I could just hear the wood like, it was like 1/4-inch ply, man. This shit was not meant to hold my fat ass up. It was probably not meant to hold 100 pounds up. Luck was with me. I got to the stairs I needed to, hit them, the plywood slid back. I started coughing like crazy because I had used all my air to pull myself up, and now I'm just breathing in this fucking flea poison. I climb to the top of the stairs, my phone's going off, my hands are sweaty. I cried, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried. All right, it's okay for real men to cry. I was scared. I thought that was curtain call for old Famine Studios picture wrap. I thought it was done. I was just soaking wet, and I hit my phone. It was my girlfriend, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, fucking spitting, vomiting, snot was pouring out of my face. I'm like, I gotta get out of the house, and I just like remember intermittently like bouncing off of things in my living room to get outside. Now, this is where I kind of feel some sort of way, right? We have a nosy neighbor. To give an example how nosy, I pulled into my driveway today, and within me walking into the house to get to my bedroom to take my shoes off, she had called the house to say that she thought my taillights were out. Ain't nobody need to be paying that much attention. I digress. I go out the front door, completely soaking wet. I flop to the concrete. We have a stone patio before stairs. I'm sure I've showed you guys or you've seen videos of my vlogs. I literally like Tom and Jerry cartoon slide down the stairs like a snake, covered in sweat, coughing. I'm throwing up, just dry heaving, just, snot and everything coming out of my face. I'm like, fuck, can barely breathe. I'm finally catching fresh air. My neighbor's wife across the street, the good neighbor that I like across the street, his wife was just so oblivious. She's just looking around, gets inside, goes in, and I'm like, like you'd think if you heard that, you might pay attention. He goes inside. Another one of my neighbors from down the street drive by, and they wave. What the fuck, man? I'm literally laying there. My feet are up on the porch. I'm on the ground fucking coughing, trying to pull myself up. Just starting to get enough fresh air. And I had the good sense to I had the MSDS pulled up on my phone. That's the material safety data sheet. Anytime you guys use chemicals, anytime you use spray paint, type in the name of the product and the MSDS, and you always know what the safety precautions are. This stuff apparently is not noxious and toxic as it is. The MSDS said to move outside to fresh air, flush your skin, flush your eyes if you got any on you. So I literally dragged my sad sack ass over to the hose that was outside, turned it on, and just gave myself the filthiest whore bath in the world out there, and then crawled over to my car, opened the door to let the cats know that I was okay, and slumped into the seat. And for the next 30 minutes until Kenny and Jason got there, I just sat there breathing in as much fresh air from the breeze as I could and just hating everything. Then I started to feel the pain of having fallen 8 feet straight down. It wasn't like I fell forward or I fell a couple of no, it was like Home Alone, like just walk through straight down. There was no warning, there was no crack, oh no, yipes. I held up a little sign that said yipes, like Wile E. Coyote, just straight down. Ankles hurt, knees hurt, elbows hurt. Like I said, my hips hurt. I didn't know why my hip was bothering me that much until that night. And I looked down, I was like, oh shit. It was not great. Highly recommend not doing that. If you're ever in that situation, don't die. Just don't do that. Don't hurt yourself. Don't fall. I don't recommend. But I am pretty healthy now. Feeling good. So let me go ahead and share with you guys, while I got you here, while I have your undivided attention, now that I told that embarrassing and stupid story, don't do what I do. Stairs have been fixed. That's a whole different story. Yeah, no, Bjorn, it was awful. It was goddamn awful, dude. I thought for sure, I've been in situations where I'm like, I may not make it out of this, but I've, in the back of my head, I'm like, I'll get through it. I was very much at the point where I was like, I die, not good, need to get myself out of there. But while I've got your undivided attention, I'm gonna present my screen, and we'll use this here, and I will share this. The Toy Pizza Expo, which I will be at. I am not a guest or anything like that, but I will be there. Our boy Aegis Station is going to be selling his pup droids and his ooze plasms there, as well as some other goods and goodies. Be sure to check out his booth. It is at Beacon, New York. It's at the Yard. It is a very cool venue. It's outdoors. They have an indoor show that's going to be going on. It's the 10th anniversary of their YouTube show. Please be sure, if you're in the area, to come check it out. Most of the stuff is between 5-inch and 118. A lot of independent toy makers, a lot of accessories, parts, pieces. It's super, super cool. I highly recommend it. if you're into comics, and I'm like, if you're into comics, indie comics, I guess I should say, come check it out. There's just amazing stuff there. Like I said, they're gonna have a live show. There is a fee for that, but the event itself outdoors is free. People selling all sorts of figures, custom figures, things that they made. It was amazing last year. I went. They'll have a con exclusive too, but I went last year, and my thought was, oh, I'll just go to see Aegis and support my friend. I think I brought like $20-30 with me, and I wound up spending every single dollar that I had because there was just so much cool shit. I did not think that I was going to, find that many things that I want. I personally do not have fleas. I don't think I'll ever get fleas because of how much I ingested. I think they'll just bite me and then fall off. The good news is Beacon is an upstate. Well, I guess technically it's about an hour from New York City, and it's about an hour from me. I live near Albany, Beacon, New York. But I mean, there were so many cool things. I got chainsaw hand accessories. I got Nintendo Power Glove accessories. I think I came home with like 8 or 9, 10 heads. We used one to make that I guess we decided he was a doctor, that skull head guy. That was one of the ones I brought back. I got the Arizona iced tea flavor pup droid from Aegis. I picked that up because they were, you should absolutely come on Sunday. I know it's Father's Day, but if you do make it there, I have stickers. I'll have some Famine Studios stickers on me. We'll hook you up, say hello. You can't miss me. I'll be wearing my stupid goddamn hat, and I look like this with this, so, I mean, not hard to miss. Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a drive for you from Utica. I can see. 2 hours and 46 minutes. I mean, it's not bad. Hit the thruway, straight shot. What else? Oh, yes. With the shirts that I've got, my wonderful, amazing girlfriend, she is designing them for me. I give her the idea and kind of like, hey, this is what I kind of want here. Could you please? And she makes some dope shirts. She also has her own shirt store, and it's Next Gen Vanner, but it's not all van stuff. It is, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite shirts. I'll go ahead and share my screen with you now. There we go. This one here, the Only Trashy People Litter shirt with Planet Earth. I really dig that one. There's some Hydrate shirts, which I always need a reminder. This person, another personal favorite, Easily Distracted by Tits and Tacos. I think we can agree that's most of us. A lot of Boogie Van stuff, a lot of, just retro looking things. She's got the Hydrate reminders if you're into vintage car ads. Absolutely cool designs there. If you get the reference, you get the reference. Little Futurama action there. Death by Snoo Snoo. Wayne's World. There's all sorts of cool stuff here. Some retro tunes shirts that she's got going on. I like the stuff. I'm very happy that she is kicking ass with these. And people, like the second or third day, I think it was. And again, here's that Hydrate reminder. I really need to get one of those. The second or third day that she had shirts up, somebody found her stuff and just ordered some shirts and stickers and things like that because they were banners, I guess. But there's stuff other than banners there. So check that out if you want to pick up a shirt for Father's Day, or you do know somebody that's a banner. Send it to them. Let them know it's Next Gen Vanner here on TeePublic, and then you've got my shop there, Famine Studios. Want to plug that as always. But yeah, I thought that was, it's super cool of her to take the time and effort to make my stuff. And also she does a lot cooler stuff than I do. So, go check one of those out, maybe buy it, get a couple of stickers. Just throwing it out there. Option. I'm not your boss. I'm kind of your boss. I'm going to need you to come into work on Saturday too. Okay, Peter? Yeah. That'd be great. And then, of course, we got the Patreon, FamineStudios.com / Famine Studios 262. Patreon.com/Famine Studios 262. How much of that flea shit that I ingest? I don't know. But it has been a wonderful, albeit short show. It's good to be back. I'm sorry I'm losing my voice. Seems to be going around. In the meantime and in between time, I hope you guys are all well. Hope everybody's doing good. Nobody falls through any stairs, unlike me. Yeah, no, it wasn't like a WCW spot where I like and then fall through. It was quite literally I stepped on the stairs and just. Now I know I'm a heavy boy, but in theory, stairs should hold. I mean, they dragged a hot water heater up and down there. They dragged an oil tank. It was empty, granted, but it was still a big metal oil tank. Like, that shit's heavy. I've carried air conditioners up and down those stairs for years in the summertime, and I'm a big boy again, like I said. Those stairs should have held, but they just fucking quit and like a cartoon character, straight down. So I don't recommend that for anybody. But that being said, Toy PizzaCon Sunday, that's coming up. Also, if you're in the Johnstown, New York area or can be in the Johnstown, New York area, this is for my cosplay peeps, but also my toy collecting peeps. The Toying Around Block Party, which is in Johnstown, New York. It's a free event. It is a block party. There are all sorts of vendors. Toying Around has a toy store right there. There are actually toy photography artists. There's going to be a cosplay competition. Yours truly will be hosting said competition. We have wonderful judges lined up. Very excited about the event. I hope everybody make it out. Like I said, Toying Around is my favorite toy store. It is my toy store that I go to anytime I recommend somebody. If they're like, hey, where can I get toys around here? You can go to Target or Walmart. That's cool. But like, if you want the real toy store experience, you go to Toying Around in Johnstown. Be sure to check it out. I know I have vlogs on the channel of tours in there. I think I might have to make a trip out there before the show and, shoot another vlog real quick. But that's where I get a lot of my 1/18 stuff. So be sure to go check that out. I will be cosplaying. It's going to be a surprise what I'm doing. Be closer to the event where you guys will know more. But super happy to be doing this. Will be the only time that I'm turning up to an event in costume. I don't really go to conventions anymore in cosplay. More hassle than it's worth. To be honest with you, I'm old. It's fucking hot. I just don't feel like I need to go and sweat in costume anymore. I think I can do costumes and photo shoots and stuff. I can still make props. I can still make costumes. I'm just not going to bring them to a convention and wear them. I'm not interested in doing that right now. But that said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. You're the best. Thank you so much for your patience with tonight's episode. Between losing the voice, between Doggo having an accident, and all the wonderful things of not working. Every major theme park has delays. Yeah, well, John, when the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists. So, I mean, I feel like if you wanted to go, you'd go. Just putting it out there. I'm not trying to bully you with today's gas prices and say, you should go. But you should consider going. All right, guys. I'm going to call it here. I hope you guys have an excellent week. If you haven't already, hit the like button. It throws me in the algorithm, makes it a little bit easier for people to find these videos. The game we have to play, which is why I always say it. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. If you're watching the replay, thank you for tuning in for the replay. I love you very much. You have beautiful eyes. Honestly, you're gorgeous. It's, you're stunning. You're stunning. And I appreciate that you're subscribed. If you're not, click that button. Hit the bell notification. Let you know when I go live, when I post a new video. I might put up a reel, a short, whatever, the YouTube shorts. Just consider it. For me. For old Famine, right? I appreciate you. All right, guys. That'll do it for me. You guys be well. And as always, it's not, it's not weird. You're making it weird. Too sweet me.